It says, I, a 34-year-old male, have been with my wife, a 32-year-old female, for 10 years, married the last 2.5. A few days ago, I found out that a few months before we got married, she cheated on me in a one-time thing with her boss, hereafter affair partner. She has since changed jobs for unrelated reasons. There you go. He's been married 2.5 years, and she got married him knowing about this. I'm trying to work out where I go from here, but this is not helped by the fact that we share most of our mutual friends, and the affair partner is also part of our regular social circle. But I'm trying to keep this private while I work out what to do next. So I thought bearing my soul to a bunch of objective strangers on Reddit might be the next best thing. Her boss, her former boss, is a part of your social circle, and she was hooking up with this piece of garbage? That guy needs an ass whooping. For background, we've had no major issues or fights prior to this, and have always been an extremely close couple from day one. We spent all our time together, and the type who, if we were isolated in the same room for a year, we'd be quite content. Dude, it's obviously not as good as you think, I'm sorry to say. As such, our lives are extremely intertwined to the point of happy codependence. Well, that's not healthy. She's my best friend, and we were very much looking forward to settling down and starting a family now that we're in a financial position to do so. As such, any decision I make on this will significantly impact my life for years to come. Dude, your wife's a cheater, man. I'm sorry that it happened to you, and it's heartbreaking, and she did this before you got married and still married you, you know? And the problem is you put too much stock in your wife. Okay, she's your best friend, and all. I've found that people that say that their spouses are their best friend, yeah, it can be good on a lot of levels, but also just the general desire and attraction she has for you is just not the same as someone that, you know, you can be close, but not best friends. He's too reliant on her for his happiness. Then 3 days ago, I received a message out of the blue from the affair partner's now ex-partner saying she had proof of cheating and wanted to let me know. For whatever reason, the scumbag had kept a list of his conquests. His partner had found it, and lo and behold, my wife's name was on it with the year 2022, location, and rating. Of course, this douchebag keeps a list, an archive of who he banged, the dates, what they look like, a rating, 4 stars, 3.5 stars, that type of thing. As I was trying to get my head around what I was seeing, I walked into my kitchen and saw my wife on the phone with a panicked look. No prizes for guessing who was on the other end of the phone. At which point she had now something to tell me. The rationale and explanation that's been given is that it was a last-minute panic before our wedding over the fact that she had never slept with another guy. We were each other's first in that area, and between her and the affair partner, they thought sleeping together would be a good situation. What a load of crap. Her last hurrah, never been with anybody else. Give me a freaking break. And sure, that guy was more than happy to jump in with his you-know-what swinging and fulfill her wish. And this guy's now part of the regular social circle. Afterwards, they decided to never speak of it again, pretend like nothing happened out of guilt and the fact it meant nothing. Meant nothing. Yes, it did mean something. To this guy, I never knew about this. She went and married him anyway. No mercy. When I inevitably asked WTAF in so many words, there was no excuses, and the guilt and tears were genuine. Of course the tears were coming out. She tried to argue that she'd also been lied to, as the affair partner said this was the only time he's done something like that. Shock and horror, he lied. But I had to bluntly explain it's irrelevant to me. Like this guy cares that this guy lied to her. And it doesn't make a difference. She still cheated. So, she's trying to shift it that he's the bad guy here, not her. She blocked the affair partner now, has offered for us to move somewhere else in the UK, move out herself, do couples counseling, but it's all a bit white noise at the moment. Yeah, of course she's willing to do this. Why didn't she tell you before you got married? Because she knew you'd end it with her. The mental image of them together is branded in my brain. But above all, what I can't quite get past is how effectively she hid this from me, internally compartmentalizing almost impressively, so I had literally had no inclination anything had happened. Of course, she didn't care. That over the course of a few weeks, this was planned, and then one morning she left for work as normal with the full intention of sleeping with the affair partner. Did the deed and came home later and lied to me without missing a beat. She's insistent this was the only time, but I'm not sure how much I trust her anymore. I have a very hard time believing this was the only time. And if it was the only time, it doesn't matter. Cheating's cheating. And it isn't just the cheating, it's also the calculated planning of this whole thing, the lying, the covering it up, and I might add, marrying the guy, knowing full well that if this guy found out about this, he would have ended it with her. No. With all that being said, I have absolutely no clue what to do now. On an hourly basis, I flip from wanting to get revenge, separate, pretend never happened, or drink myself into a coma. So any advice from people who've been in the same place, we greatly appreciate. I would love to be able to just push past this, but no, it's not fair to either of us. If I can't gently let it go, otherwise I will just resent her the entire time we're together. But I'm not even sure how to get to this point of knowing if I can. Bro, so here's the problem when guys make their whole lives their girlfriend or their wives or the woman in their life. That if something happens, they can't imagine a life without them, and they just allow this shit to go on. And obviously this guy's ending it with her, and as he should, but still. No, bro, you can't be with her because you're never going to let this go. You're always going to imagine this. You're never going to trust her again. She broke your heart, And again, it was bad. Now, if she would have cheated on him, she did cheat on him, but then told him before they got married, yeah, it would have been awful for her to cheat on him, but at least she would have told him, redeemed herself a little bit, and he would have the choice whether to marry her or not. But no, she kept it quiet, and the only way he found out is because this douchebag's, one of his exes or conquests, let this guy know as revenge. And this husband should know. So no, he needs to talk to a lawyer, find out his options, and plan the exit strategy. But this whole guy's, he's been with her for like 10 years, I think he said. So his whole... That's what happens to you with somebody so long that it becomes like your whole life. And your families know each other, and you have the social groups and all that. But it's not going to work, man. I've done too many of these stories. I lived long enough to know how this goes. So you need to end it with her and move on. And if she truly cares about you, she'll give you an amicable divorce. The good thing is, he's young. He's been with her for only 2.5 years. So hopefully the repercussions of the divorce won't hit him too hard here, And he's a young guy, and he can move forward with his life. But this goes to show you guys, no matter how great it seems, you still have to trust but verify, watch your red flags, trust your gut. And last but not least, this guy who slept with her, he can have her. Or she can go to him. Say, you know what, go to him. Knock yourself out. So there you go. And quite frankly, this guy deserves an ass whooping. Now, a few comments here, and that's the end of this. It says here, having lived through this myself, I suggest you get therapy for yourself for no other reason to be aware that it's not about you. I believe marriage counseling is a waste of time, as I can't see how you could ever trust her again. I know I couldn't. In the long run, even if you have kids as I did, it's best to move on and find someone you can love, who can love you without the need to fuck around for some selfish crap. Best of luck. Well, that's the problem. This guy thought he was with the girl that could truly love him and could never do something like this. But this is a guy that has been through this. It says the counseling is not worth it. But this guy has hope. Another one. So she has lied to you every day for almost 5 years. You don't believe what she's telling you about the PA, and you don't know if it was her, the only PA, or the one that she got caught with. All you do know is that it's deliberate, premeditated, planned, and executed in secret. She came home afterwards and lied to you and looked into your eyes with a kiss. You don't trust her, and for good reason. Put down the bottle, it won't help. Instead, hit the gym, get some emotional distance so you can think clearly. Yes, join a gym. Join a martial arts school, a boxing club, whatever. Get out there, get exercise, move. You'll feel better. Hang out with your friends, the ones that don't interact with her or the other guy, your family. But in general, now that you know you're under the right conditions, she'll betray you and can do with a smile and laugh afterwards, and lie convincingly for years. And you'll never forget that. If you have no kids, then break this off and divorce before your situation becomes more complex. Even if you move, there will always be guys around who are willing, if she's willing, and she is. Get an STD test, you need it. Yeah, he should do that, because you never know. But thank God they don't have kids. But I'd be very careful if suddenly she's like, I'm pregnant. You can't leave me. You can't divorce. I'm pregnant. And obviously that kid ain't his. So don't sleep with her. So it's going to be an emotional roller coaster, and that's totally normal. Again, and it's going to take you a long time to get over. And I might add that given their lives are so intertwined, I'm sure he's probably looking for every reason in the book to just bury it underneath the rug and move on. It's a terrible idea, man. And she'll then know whether she wants to admit it or not, no matter how much crying she does, that at the end of the day, she can pull this shit and get away with it. And that's the last thing you need, because it'll only get worse. So, bro, take some time to think about this, but you got to move on. So anyway, guys, listen to that. There we go.